Well, hi, and welcome to my shop here. It's April 17th today, and what I hope to do with this radio, I hope to finish it right off today if I can do it. Really, I think all that is left is doing an alignment. I've replaced the remaining wax capacitors in here. Someone else replaced some earlier. I think this and this. I think these two here are all earlier replacements. I'm not inclined to replace those. They're probably okay, so it kind of depends upon how well the radio works. There's also these filter capacitors that have been put in, one here and one up in the top. I'm just leaving all that alone because things seem to be working. But the one thing I am interested in fixing up a little bit is this thing here. Which, actually, I find these in radios more often than I would ever imagine. I've already pulled this one off to look, and sure enough, the wires have not been... this is way too small of a cap too. The wires have not been soldered. I'm going to solder those and probably put a cap on it, stick it back in there. At least better that they're soldered. And so in the last couple of videos, I've told viewers about a couple of websites focused on statistics around what's happening in the world right now. One of those sites, Dan Rechart's doubling time chart. He seems to be quite diligent at updating it. Looks like he's even updating it a couple of times during the day. That's what it looks like. But right at the top of that page, he puts the last date updated. So that chart seems to be updated, and it's worth looking at regularly. The bottom line, right at the bottom of this page, is varying quite a bit. So keep an eye on that. And the other page I told you about, the one I believe the American government is relying on, which is the IHME website. So that one's not being updated. There's a promise on their update page to update it on the 15th. Today is the 17th, and it's still not updated. It still shows data from the 13th. That's 4 days ago. So I don't know why they're not updating it, and when they promised they would. So hopefully they'll update it today, and we can take another look at that site. These two sites make their predictions and run models that are entirely different. The doubling time model runs on doubling time of infections, and the IHME model is driven by death counts. Lots and lots of problems with all the information that's available in the world. There's a ton of information available. Problems everywhere with it. So often when these things are over is when statisticians can really extract some valuable information about what really happened. So yeah, it's really complicated so take all these counts with a grain of salt. No one's too sure how accurate any of them are at this point. And you got to think, different countries would count things a little bit differently. I'm sure there's a standardized procedure, probably something issued by the World Health Organization, but there are literally tens of thousands of number-producing organizations like individual hospitals trying to feed data up some gigantic pyramid of some sort up to the top. Goodness knows there's got to be just problems everywhere with that. Now get my soldering iron. So that's my warning. My warning is all these sites got to be, you have to have your thinking cap on when you look at these numbers. When you listen to things that are going on, you really got to think for yourself. That's what I think this is down to. This is definitely a think for yourself and protect yourself. And remember what I said. This whole thing is local for us. It's what's happening in your town, your city, your hospital, your neighborhood. It's not what's happening far away. And so far, I think in my part of Canada, here in the city of Orillia, we've had very little. Very few cases. So okay, there we go. So that's not going to come apart now. I'm going to put them. I'm going to put another ground. Oh, do I have any of those in here? Ay. I do have some. I have a big one here. I think these are probably too big. No, this is pretty big. I think, actually, you know what? I think it's the right size for this. That small one was too small. Okay, not the best thing, but better than it was. Kind of tuck it in there. So, if I'm going to do the alignment on this radio, I have to think about this plate. You know, this a lot of metal in this plate, and if you notice, they designed the plate so with the plate on, you can get access to all these screws. That to me is a hint that you better have this plate on when you're doing the alignment. That's how I would interpret that. Better screw it in place. And something else I've noticed just in the press, because I'm paying lots of attention, is in the American press, is Canada's never talked about. There's lots of talk about other countries, things going on in Europe, Britain, Brazil. You know. No talk on American TV about what's happening in Canada. Canada and Mexico are the two nations Americans should be very concerned about, because we're right on the border. So, and there's an awful lot of interaction, huge amounts of interaction. So that's where the interest should be. In a sense, Canada and Mexico are local to the United States. Now, yes, there's airplanes flying in, and people on those airplanes bringing infection and stuff like that. I won't say anymore. I won't say anymore. Okay, so we'll have this bottom on now. Did I put it on right? The screws aren't quite... Ah, okay. Okay, well, it can't be wrong. There's no other way to put it on. So, okay. So the alignment adjustments consist of, oh my gosh. So there's this guy, obviously. There's a screw down there for a trimmer, and there's one in behind here for crying out loud. It's behind this coil. How are you supposed to get at that? Jeez. That's okay. Well, that's it then. 1, 2, 3, and then we got the IF. Well, we're going to do the IF alignment first, and I'll get everything set up for that. Okay, time to align this radio. So first we're going to jam the IF frequency into the antenna here, in the hopes it'll appear in the IF. Sure, certainly should. Let's hear this radio. There we are. Where are you? What's happening there? We should have heard that for sure. Well, that's interesting. We're not hearing the signal at all coming from the signal generator. So maybe there's a trap in here. We'll have to hook it up to the grid of the. Isn't that a 6SA7 that was in there? Whoops. Pretty sure that's what that was. 6SA7. Of course, it's right where I can't see it. Well, I don't want to make a mistake. Of course, 6SA7, of course. You know, I've just fixed too many radios. I got too much stuff in my head. Yeah, as opposed to not enough stuff, I got too much stuff. 6SA7. So we want to get onto grid 3. Grid 3, 6SA7 GT. And grid 3 is on pin 8. Same thing up here. Pin 8. Grid 3 is pin 8. Oh! I put the bottom on the radio. Is pin 8 sitting right there by some chance? Take the tube out again. Pin 8 is right here. Oh, wait a minute. Count. No. Count the other way. Pin 8 is pin 8 is right there. Right there. So we can go there. Pin 8. Okay, I'll use a capacitor there. It's just a grid, but maybe I'm making a mistake. Good, that's good. Go here, and then we'll go on this ground here. I might make some hums or something in the radio. Put the tube back in. Now put the signal strength down. Turn the radio on. Now, it may be very, very quiet with this connection, so just give it a little more time to warm up. Did you notice I cleaned all the tubes in the meantime? Here we go. Okay, now I'm putting 455 into it right now. We're not hearing it. It's a fairly low level though. Let's see what's going on. Holy smokes! Really? Really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, really. Holy smokes. Oh, is there 500? Is there any chance that that's correct? Really. 260, 460, 455. Those are the frequencies I've come across. 260 in the really old radios. This is 80,000 miles out. Okay, well, that gives me something to do here. That's for sure. Wow, that's really far out. Okay, we'll start bringing it in. So we'll just kind of work our way down to 460 or 455. Oh yeah, that last thing. Three of these have screws, and the last one is some weird thing. I don't know what it is. So we'll leave the last one alone for now. Jeepers. I guess we'll just keep going on the three I can adjust. Jeepers. Let's take a closer look at that fourth one. See if we can figure out what's going on here with it. Get a little light in there. Well, it looks like a threaded shaft. Just be careful I don't jam this camera where it shouldn't go. I don't know what to make of that. It really looks like it's coming up from below, which would be pretty weird. Is it possible there's a coil there with no trimmer at all? It would be a bit of an unusual thing. And the object of the trimmer is to accommodate manufacturing variations in the coil. It can't be avoided, or at least can't be avoided at a reasonable cost. So the cheaper way is to whip your coil together and put a trimmer on it. I don't see there's anything in there I can turn. What can I do about it? Look underneath. I gotta look underneath. Just because this is hanging out here. Let's cut the power. Underneath. Oh, yeah. Look underneath. Right. Right there. Can't look underneath anymore. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna guess that there's nothing there to adjust, and we'll just do our best with the three of them. Okay, power on again. We're still close to 500 on this. We've got a long ways to go. I'm also going to need to set up a meter here. So get that ready now. I guess I haven't hooked the meter up to this radio before. It's pretty tough to clip onto that stuff. Yikes. And that's just, those little wires are coming right out of this transformer, so there's nowhere to get at them, but right there. I'm going to have to clip on the actual voice coil lead wires in there. Ooh, 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 what's with the noise? So there must be some grounding issue. I can't see anything in the camera there, right? Can you see any way that either of those terminals are to the frame? They certainly appear to be suspended away from the frame. Let's see, that was the you know what? That was the second, that's the second ground going on. The first ground is from the signal generator. So I'm putting the second ground into it, a very different spot, circuit-wise. That's probably why the thunk came out. Did it kill the radio, or did it just make a thunky sound? Okay. Touching the frame of the speaker here. Didn't kill it at all. Let's try and get the other lead on now. Shorting out on it. Sounded better there. Okay, gotta move the camera up. Don't like being on there. Okay, everything's still working. Let's see what's happened on the meter here. Oh, usually helpful when the equipment's switched on. What was that all about? Not sure. Here we are. Look at, can you see the meter going up and down? Can you hear anything at all? You hear nothing whatsoever in here. Something was going up and down. Now let's check and make sure what we're seeing is the modulation from the... It's terrible. There's a lot of noise here. See it a little bit. It's enough. It's enough for what we're doing. Something seems really not right at all. Let's just keep driving it back to where it's supposed to be. Give it more power here so we can hear it. Boost it. Boost it. Funny what the meter just did there. Just jumped like. No reason for accuracy. We're just moving it. Now it's possible the other alignment actions have been taken to match the incorrect setting of the IF. And so as I move the IF into the right place, the radio is going to perform worse and worse because the rest of it's tuned up for 500, not tuned up for this. Don't know. So what I'm saying is I don't care if it gets quieter generally while I'm doing this. further. On the other hand, the opposite can be happening. I can be restoring the radio to its proper operating lane, if you like, and things are starting to add up, literally add up. Okay, we can go for 455 now. Okay, so we check up here. Yeah, 455. Once more. What about that last thing? I don't know. Well, that's quite a good difference, I think. We're at 455 now. Turn this down. That would be a good time to listen to the radio. See what it does on its own. So I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna pull it right out of there. Pull it right out of there. Good. Put on outdoor antenna, but I'm pretty sure the switch is thrown for my antenna lead is thrown the wrong way right now. See what we get anyway. French station. Nope. Anybody else? Okay, I'm gonna run and throw the antenna switch and see if that helps out. Okay, see if that makes any difference. Oh, oh. Perfect. Now, I think this is the oscillator adjustment for the shortwave band, and so that would make the oscillator adjustment for the AM band the adjustment that's right on the capacitor. There's two bands. There's two bands in this radio. I don't have the instructions, but no doubt it says do one band first, then the other, and there's a really strong reason for doing that. So one band will depend upon this trimmer, which I think is the shortwave band, and one band will depend upon both this trimmer and the trimmer down here. That'd be the shortwave band. I kind of worded that wrong. Let me switch it around. I think the AM radio band is completely, the oscillator setting is dependent upon the capacitor right on the trimmer right on the tuning capacitor. You set that first. That changes the short wave, but arbitrarily, and then you compensate with this one for the short wave. Does this make any difference on AM, or am I full of crap? No difference on AM. Now, which of these is the oscillator back here? So I'm touching the stator plates, and one of them will cause the radio to tune, and the other one will cause it to get stronger and less strong. That sounds like a tuning change to me. And that's just getting weaker or stronger. So I think this is the oscillator here. So I'm going to try to get a screwdriver into that screw, but it's really located badly. I don't even know what to do with it. What am I doing with the screw? Well, I don't know where to turn it. Okay, I can turn it. Yep, you can hear it tuning. So that's definitely the oscillator, but here we go again. Where's the pointer supposed to be? So the plate here, which has the pointer on it, is attached. Looks like a pressure. Looks like a pressure fitting here. Probably if I turn this wheel hard enough, it'll actually turn in the fitting. I'm not going to try that. This has got a very unusual drive on it here. Usually there's a string or something like that driving the big wheel from here. But in this case, this is a pinch roller, and you can't, well, yeah, you can see it. I'm just going to switch cameras here. We'll be able to see it. It's a very interesting way of doing the drive. Okay. Well, you see this on the knob here. There are two plates. There's a front plate and a back plate. See it there? And between it, this wheel gets caught and it's pinched. The thing about it is when you get to the end of the run, it should skid. It's a hard skidder. It should skid. Where are our French? So let's do this. We're going to adjust that other capacitor here. We're about mid-band. Uh-oh. 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 Nothing happened. It's an uh-oh because that means maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Let's tighten it down quite a ways. No, it's getting quieter. It's another case where these trimmers want to be wide open. Okay. Now, can we figure out if I'm anywhere near right on the oscillator? This is 860 we're listening to. Interestingly enough, I think I can actually pull this off. Oops. Okay, it's a little tough to put this right on again, but I should do it. Ready? Come on, Jim. pushing some buttons here. Come on, button. Don't give me an asshole here. Well, it looks like when you push this button, it disables the rest of them anyway. So I think we can just leave it like that. Now we gotta look here. That means I have to lower my camera a little bit. So the pointer, you know, it's right on 860. That's a stunner. It's on the money. Okay, that's good. So next thing would be the shortwave band. So shortwave, all we have is an oscillator adjustment. Okay. Kind of a bad time of day to be trying shortwave, but let's do it. So shortwave would be band switch turned. So now we're listening to shortwave. So what do you think? The band, oh, this is a terrible band. There's going to be nothing whatsoever on this. 1.6 to 4.3. There's nothing here but vast field of noises, and I'll put my signal generator there. That's what I'll do. Because in the middle of the band's about 2.6 megahertz. 2.6. Okay, we're about 2.6. 2.6 on here. We will, yeah, because we're not going to pick anything up from an antenna. We are not. This might make a pop in the speaker. Me doing this. Son of a gun. How do you like that? Whoop. It works. My gosh. Okay, now. So straight up and down. Hey, that's one can be done. That's an easy one to do. Straight up and down is just below 2.6. It's above 2.6. 2.7. Straight down is 2.7. 2.7. So where we are right now is 2.5. So put this straight down. Okay, by my eye that's straight. 2.6. We'll try the oscillator. I want this to be 2.7. Right. Go up. Adjust this and find it. Hey, what happened to it? It's not findable. Well, maybe I'm totally wrong in all these things I've been saying. What happened to it now? Oh, it's still there. That doesn't seem like it's an oscillator. Wait a second here. So we got it at 2.6. Yeah, that's no oscillator. It ain't no oscillator. So what's going on here? Have they got two different oscillators in the capacitor? I can't imagine that. Let's see. No, that's definitely tuning the radio. And that's just making it stronger and not so strong. So I guess we just strengthen it up with this one. Oh, wait a minute. So, and we just accept where it is on here because it's not that accurate anyway. Okay, I'm going to fiddle around with the tuning capacitor here for a moment. Again, no difference there. Okay. I think that's it. So let's see what we can find on an antenna. I don't think we're going to find anything. What could possibly be there in that band? Late at night, there is one station at something like 3.2 megahertz, somewhere like that. That is receivable here. Very quiet. Why so quiet? Don't expect anything here. Going up in frequency. Silence. Complete silence. Let's fiddle with that. I mean, there's really no reason to even pick this band up because there's nothing here to hear. Doesn't do anything. We might get, well, I won't get it this time of day, but it actually hits the top end of the AM band. Right up in here. No. There's a fat chance I'm picking anything up like that. Gotta go back to the AM band, make sure it's still AMing. Turn this. Did I turn it already? There's not much movement in this switch. One way, t'other way. Oh, this doesn't seem very good. Seems to have gone away. Okay, first I want to convince myself I really am on the AM band. So I'm going to make a mistake. Put this here. Fire in an AM signal from a signal generator. About around 900. Other way. Right around 900. So that's a very, very strong signal being fed at the radio. Something appears to have quieted it right down. No, that's behaving the same. This one has no effect. Must be shortwave. Okay, I can't really guess my way into anything more than that. Maybe the last thing we'll do is with the signal coming in on the antenna, we'll just quickly check the IF and make sure it's not way out. Put this back to 455. See if we can hear it this time. Yep. 455. Tune. No, we're not tuning. Just tune in a quiet spot. Sometimes it's good to do this with a radio station playing, and you listen to what it sounds like at the last bit. Tricky using these plastic guys. Oh. Oh. Wow, look at how sensitive this wire here. Remember we were talking about how high this collar is, and I was joking, whoever made this tried to sell it because it's got a high collar. Well, it looks like there's a pretty good reason for it. Hello, Peanut. Well, hello, Peanut. Wow. So if you're going to put your hand near here and move it around. Oh my gosh. What's all the calling about? Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, hey, hey. So what he's doing is he wants me to go with him. Quite clearly. Peanut. For some reason cats have trouble with doors. I don't quite get it. Come on, Peanut. Okay. Maybe the sun is shining outside, is it? We had more snow this morning again. Can you believe that? It's a little wee bit sunny out there. Okay, so what are we going to do about this? We got to play it on AM and listen, and then I think that's the end of that. It's a little odd what happened there too. Okay. Okay, let's see about some other stations down here now. Oh, it's almost full up. What station is this? .640. So this should be fairly clear. And kind of a crummy antenna. Let's give this guy a better antenna, which I have sitting right over here beside Peanut. He's still here. He's still here, Peanut. So we're going to put on a stronger tuned loop antenna here, which I will show you in a moment so you know what I'm doing. And the antenna needs a little bit of maintenance. It's kind of falling apart. So somehow I got to make a connection into here. And my usual connector wire has gone missing. Just taking a quick glance for it. No, it's gone. So we got to use clip leads on this. That's unfortunate. Okay, off with the wire antenna, off with the loop antenna. Oh, Peanut, can you just hang on there, please? Oh, I know. It's tough, isn't it, Kitty? But you know the routine. I mean, you know the routine completely. I want to clamp this down a little bit. Hold it. One more clip lead. Okay, so now I need to tune the antenna here. Don't you like this radio stuff, Peanut? That will be tuned right on. Let's get it in the right direction, though. There we go.
A number of states having low cases. He is right. There are less than a dozen states that are reporting less than 1,000 cases, but it's also worth noting these states include Montana, South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming. These are states that have very small populations. They don't provide a significant number when it comes to providing things to the U.S. economy. So if there's a question raised as to why the push to reopen these small states, there's also a question as to how broad was testing in these states. Are the numbers underreported, and could there be silent outbreaks?
This plan that Trump wants to start the process of opening the economy, he is putting it on the governors to make the decision. To me, that just smacks of him passing the blame. How much of this has to do with...
This is Canadian radio you're listening to, by the way. What just happened? Ooh, what was that?
Part of the problem with coronavirus not getting a handle on reporting the public and doing something earlier.
And this is part of the motive of this administration. When things are going wrong, always put the blame on somebody else, whether it's the previous administration, whether it's Democratic governors, whether it's Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, whether it's the World Health Organization. Now that these guidelines are being put to governors, the president says that he's allowing them to kind of work at their own phase, but this way, if things backfire, if cases start to surge again in the coming months, which we've heard from health experts, easing restrictions too early could lead to a secondary surge, then the president can say, well, these were my recommendations, they followed them incorrectly, or they weren't paying attention to the data. This can be the governor's fault, and he can try to absolve himself from any of the problems that come.
So if you're an American viewer, you're just listening to Canadian radio, you're listening to an analysis of American politics, something you should realize is that us up here in Canada, we know everything that's going on in the United States just as well or even better than Americans on account of our press is objective. It is. We have real press here, and so do you in the United States. You have real press. You dare to listen to them. Okay, I won't get into all that, but it's hard not to get into that when we're playing with radios and they pick up stuff like this on shortwave or here on regular broadcasts. So I try my best not to make any comments, but it's really, really tough, especially right now. I'll say this, the United States is heading in a direction not the same as Canada. Canada's going to stay locked down tight until things come under control, known control. And that's not too long for us, I don't think, because I think we've done really well. There's a reason why Canada is not being talked about at all in the American press. The reason is probably because Americans forget about Canada all the time. That's probably the reason. But if you were, it would raise a lot of questions. Okay, that's it for today. No, it isn't. I got to put this back in the into its cabinet, and we'll take a good look at it. And one more play, and we're done with this guy. Great. Great. Come on, Peanut, let's go have some fun. Yeah, come on. Okay, well, we're ready to give a try on what is really one of the nicest looking radios I've ever had in my shop. I just can't believe that this is from the late 1930s. It's really surprising. I didn't even think plastics like this were around in the late 1930s. Let's give it a go here. Switch it off. Gonna give it full power. No, apparently not. Let's try that again. Let me just back off the lighting here so we can. There, let's try it again. That's better. Whoa, that's a bright. Now with my own eyes, this looks fantastic. It's got a little bit of a hot flash here and a little bit there, but it's not like. Let's see if I can fix my camera here. More light, more light. Get my camera to work more like my eyes. Well, it's just not going to do the same. It just doesn't look the same in the camera as it does with my eyes. But fantastic, really. Here we go. No antenna. Let's put an antenna on it. Band switch this way. I think that's short wave. Pointer's right here. It's a little hard to spot in this radio. And we won't pick up anything on short wave, so I think this is the AM band that way. We are tuned 1400. Oh, wrong thing. Here we come. 860.
J'ai parlé 5, j'ai parlé 10, et on a continué à me dire l'angle des attentes, plus bas, plus bas, plus bas. Alors on verra ce que ça va donner tous les univers. Ouais, et comment...
That's the test. There it is. What a great little radio. Even the back is interesting. Oh, pop comes the antenna. Okay, that's the end of this series. So thanks a lot for watching. I'm really happy with how this radio came out. When I started on it, I thought, oh my gosh, no schematic. Oh my gosh, what am I going to be able to do here? But there it is, ready to go. This is going to live on for sure. It better live on. This is just so neat. Again, I just can't believe that's from the 30s. Wow. Okay, well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.